Hello, this week's video. If you don't suffer with poor mental health, this video's for you. Hi, I'm Steve, your agony uncle. I set this channel up as a safe space where we can share our troubles and our problems and give you the benefit of my life experience. But let's get into today's video. If you don't have mental health problems, if you don't struggle with your mental health, whether it be depression or anxiety or panic attacks, then perhaps this is for you. Let's start by me painting a picture. You're going on holiday to, let's say, Thailand. You don't speak the language. You're going out there for a couple of weeks. You arrive at your hotel, and as you're checking in, you notice on the wall a sign that says Tsunami escape route. But you don't really think much of it. You've heard about a tsunami, and that's about it. So you check in and you go up to your room, and you're on the second floor. The hotel has 3 floors, but you're on the second floor. And it's a lovely hotel. So that night, you go to bed. In the early hours of the morning, just as the sun's coming up, you hear a siren. It's not a fire alarm, that's obvious, but it's a siren. It wakes you up. It's very loud. You're a little bit concerned. So you go to the door of your hotel room and you look out into the corridor. You don't speak a word of Thai. And there's people rushing past, staff, shouting, calling, speaking in Thai, speaking to you in Thai. You have not got a clue what's going on. And then you see another British tourist and you call him over and you say, what's happening? And he says, oh, it's a tsunami warning. It's nothing to worry about. It's just some water. I really wouldn't be concerned. Just go back to bed. But you're not so sure. As you close your room door, you notice on the back there's a big sign. And again you see the sign for tsunami. But all the writing's in Thai and you can't read it. So you think, I'm not too sure. The siren's still going off. So you go to your balcony. You open the doors and you look out the balcony. And in the distance, you can see the sea. And you can see this big wave. And it's getting closer and closer. Again, you refer to the sign on the back of the door, but you can't read it. You open your door, and the staff are saying things to you, but you don't understand. You go back to the balcony, and that big wave is getting closer and closer. Once again, you open your room door, you stand in the corridor, and you don't know whether you should go down, back to the sign that said Tsunami escape route, or you should go up to the top of the hotel, up to the top floor. So you stand there, not knowing what to do, wishing you'd found out a bit more about this tsunami, wishing you'd somehow could have read that sign. How does that relate to your mental health? Right now, you're watching this because you don't have mental health problems. You've seen the leaflets, you've seen the signs, you've seen the advertisements on the television, you've heard people talking about mental health problems, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, but you've never experienced anything like that. So you don't think any more of it. And then one day, something, or perhaps many things, happen. Maybe you lose a loved one, maybe problems at work, maybe you lose your job, maybe financial troubles. Maybe it's not one thing, maybe it's many smaller things. But you feel this wave, you feel it getting closer. When you look at the wave, it's just like a big black depression. You don't really understand it, you don't really know what it is. As it gets closer, you wish you'd read that leaflet. You wish you'd paid a bit more attention to looking after your mental health. You wish you'd found out a little bit more about it. And once again, you're stood in that corridor, not knowing whether to go left or right, go down to the escape route or go up to the top floor. That wave gets closer to you, that depression, that darkness that you don't really understand. gets closer and closer. And all of a sudden, that thing that right now you're not suffering from, that you really don't know much about, it overwhelms you. And it's not just something you've heard about. It's suddenly something you're going through. And because you're going through it, it's much harder to pick up those leaflets. It's much harder to talk about what you're going through. You didn't look after your mental health. You didn't find ways to prepare yourself for what you're going through. Sometimes when you have your first panic attack, it can feel like you're dying. It can feel like you're having a heart attack. If you'd listened, if you'd read up a little bit more, if you'd understood, you would know what was happening, or have a very good idea what's happening to you. And perhaps you would have learnt some techniques to control, to understand, even some practical things that you can do to try and limit what you're going through. Because you took the time before these things affected you to find out about them. We have a huge problem in the UK of men of all ages being too scared or too shy to speak up about their mental health. I believe one of the reasons is they don't speak up about it until they're suffering. Just like being in that hotel, take 10 minutes, take an hour, look at your mental health, pick up those leaflets, be educated. Perhaps this will never happen to you, but it could happen to your partner, your workmate, your friend, your next door neighbour. Perhaps you could guide them to find the information they need. Perhaps you can be the friend that they need to help them deal with it, pull them through it. Please, if you're not suffering right now, take a minute to think about this and prepare yourself. The percentage of men and women that right now are suffering with their mental health. Some of these men and women, they just said it would never happen to them. They didn't understand. And now they're suffering. I hope this video gives you something to think about, because I didn't have a clue about mental health. I didn't even know I was suffering from depression until I was told, till the signs were pointed out to me. I didn't have any coping mechanisms, and I didn't cope for quite a while. I hope this gives you something to think about. Please take some time, look at your mental health, and maybe look at the mental health of the people around about you. Just a thought. Please drop some comments down below. Reach out if you need to. Share your problems with me. This is a safe space where you can talk about your problems, or I can talk about your problems for you. I can put them out there into our community because I know there's people here wanting to support you. So please drop some comments down below. Remember to give me a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe to my channel so you get notified every time I upload a new video. But thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this community. As I always say, if you don't take some time to look after yourself, you can't look after anybody else. Till next time, thanks for watching.